Long before democracy or empire, there was Sparta, a city built not on comfort but on discipline, obedience, and fear. Every Spartan life began with a test of strength from the moment of birth. If a baby was weak or sickly, elders decided its fate. Only the strong were allowed to live. The first unspoken rule of Sparta, strength above all. Mothers were forbidden to weep. A Spartan woman's honor came not from motherhood, but from birthing warriors who would never surrender. At age 7, boys were torn from home and thrust into the Agoge, a brutal military academy. No warmth, no weakness, only obedience and pain. They learned to steal for survival, but if caught they were punished not for stealing, but for being caught. Rule number 2. Deception is strength. Pain was a teacher. Boys were whipped before crowds to harden their spirit. Some died in silence, because crying was shameful. And when they finally became men, they were no longer sons. They were weapons of the state. Their loyalty was not to family, but to Sparta itself. The second stage of life was service. Every Spartan male was a soldier until 60. There was no retirement, no rest, only duty. A shield wasn't just protection, it was sacred. Dropping it in battle meant dishonor, even death. Spartans were told, "Return with your shield on it." Women repeated that phrase to their sons and husbands. Love was not expressed with kisses, but with courage. Training never stopped. Even at night, soldiers practiced in darkness. A Spartan who feared the dark was not fit to fight under the sun. Rule 3. Betrayal was death. A Spartan who abandoned formation could doom hundreds. His name would be erased forever. Leadership was earned, not given. Even kings led from the front. If he fell, the army was expected to keep fighting without hesitation, and so came Thermopylae, where 300 men stood against thousands. They knew they would die, but disobedience to Sparta was a greater death. Unlike the rest of Greece, Spartan women trained like warriors too. They ran, wrestled, and learned to fight, because strong women made strong sons. They were bold, outspoken, and fearless. Other Greeks called them improper. But in Sparta, silence was weakness. When men marched to war, women ruled the home. They owned land, managed wealth, and raised warriors. The fourth rule of Sparta, fear not death but cowardice. A Spartan mother would rather bury a hero than live with a coward. Even their prayers were fierce. They didn't beg the gods for peace, they demanded victory. Girls were taught the same discipline as boys. Laughter and laziness were punished. Strength was beauty. Endurance was pride. And when the army returned, they were greeted not with tears but with applause. Sparta was home to warriors, not mourners. But no empire of iron lasts forever. Over time, Sparta's strength became its weakness. After defeating Athens, arrogance grew, wealth crept in, luxury replaced loyalty. The old rules began to fade. Youths no longer trained like their ancestors. The Agoge softened. The city that once feared weakness became weak. In 371 BC, Thebes crushed the Spartan army. The unthinkable happened. The unbeatable warriors were broken. Their population dwindled. Discipline faded. The once mighty wolves of Greece became a whisper of the past. Today, little remains but stones and legends. Yet the spirit of Sparta endures in every soldier, every athlete, every heart that refuses to quit. The unspoken rules of Sparta may be gone, but their message remains eternal. Discipline conquers comfort. Courage outlives fear. Sparta never truly died. It lives within those who refuse to surrender.